Okay guys, this is video number 10 in my series Recognizing Patterns for Success or Failure, and this is a follow-up video to video number 9 illustrating the advantages of defending the J9 position at the new and revised Cormorant. Now, through bitter experience, I've learned on this map that mounting an attack anywhere is a real problem, especially in pubs, because of the long sight lines, the lack of cover, the inability to maneuver without being spotted. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, defense comes at a premium, and it pays to sit tight and wear the enemy down. Now I'm going to bring back the arcade elements and point out to you that there is a platoon on the other side consisting of a Löwe, Thrashed from Anvil. He has subsequently moved over to become Deputy Commander of Forge. There is a Tiger II called Sergeant Anubis. He's also a good player. I've seen him around a lot. And I suspected that they were going to attack. But as I have been pointing out in this series, even if you're an awesome player, even if your battle drill is impeccable, and you are superbly skilled, you cannot do it alone. And one of the curious things about this battle is that it's like I was transmitting extrasensory perception orders to our guys, because they formed up in exactly the way I wanted, and I didn't even have to tell people to do it, and you will see that here in a few minutes. So I'm going to hit the space bar and we're going to get started here. Another thing that happens in this battle is that at some point somebody typed out a little comment that in World War II he never heard of people leaving a flank undefended. Since when did that happen? And I told him all the time. And the reason you can leave the flank open here, the 1, 2, 3, 4 line, and maybe just defend the island with one vehicle and maybe a couple vehicles down around K2, is that this area of the map that we are currently running away from, this area that I'm looking back at, it's wide open. And I know how to scout, and if they do break through, let's suppose they do break through and they start approaching us, it's completely open. And our guys will just turn their gun barrels around and they will be pulverized. Any thought of an advance there is foolhardy, except in the later stages when all the enemy vehicles, or most of them, have been eliminated. Okay, so as suspected, here comes Sergeant Anubis from Forge. I suppose he's one of a low-ranking Egyptian god. Well, he didn't perform very divinely in this battle, let me tell you. So, as you can see, this deployment is about as good as it gets in a pub. I mean, when I saw this happening, I was amazed and really delighted. We've got a huge force here in this corner of the map. We've got one guy on the island. We've got a couple vehicles covering the 1, 2, 3, 4 line, and they've got spotting duties over there. So in my book, this is awesome. You know, it's amazing that this happened. You know, I suppose there's an element of luck there. So here comes an IS from the enemy team, Sergeant Rock 1230. And this is one of those battles where I did a lot more typing than I did scouting, but it was okay because we had plenty of targets. And there's Sergeant Anubis, he just showed up. So I didn't have to do any weird or exciting scouting maneuvers, since we had plenty of things to shoot at. Essentially what's going on here is we are pulling a trick on the enemy. We are luring a smaller number of vehicles onto a much larger force, and they cannot possibly defeat us, especially with just one arty piece. You know, they can't butt their heads against a brick wall and expect us to succeed. So I'm essentially marking time here, and I really like what that T-34-2 is doing. They're just with the single vehicle on the island, right? If they push, he can take cover, and his tormentors can be shot from our J9 position. And you know, that's one of the secrets of this map, that really all you need to do is mask the island and rely on guns further back to deal with anybody that attempts to break through. And once again, you know, I can't emphasize strongly enough that this is wonderful that we've got this huge force here. You know, there's no way they're going to break through here. And here's where I started telling people to pull back. This is the whole business of luring them by withdrawing a little bit. They might not have a good idea of the force they're facing, right? They might think there's only, you know, 3 or 4 vehicles in here when there's actually 7 or 8. And that is you know, that's a little bit of trickery. And withdrawing, driving backwards with your gun facing forwards from a protected position to protected position is a great strategy, because you disappear from view and they don't really know what they're facing. And another thing about the J9 position here is that these little ridge lines are great for hull down positions and long range shooting. So it looks like, do I have to do some more scouting? Don't know. Oops, a little bit of damage there. There's Thrash from low, or excuse me, from Anvil, and both Thrashed and Sergeant Anubis at this stage are as yet undamaged. You know, I suspected that their battle drill was good. That's an aspect of the battle drill, is to approach the enemy without suffering any damage, but now they're being hit. And now this is excellent. And you see that T-34-2, he is really all we need over there, provided he knows how to take cover. And our guys will shoot over there as necessary. And there's somebody just got racked. And you can see my driving here is suffering because I'm typing. And even though the balance of forces is still roughly equal, the fact that we are concentrated and they are dispersed, as far as we can tell, that favors us. Okay, that T-34-2 in the middle died, so I'm doing some short scouting here and got him killed, although I'm not 100% certain it was me that spotted him. And let's see. As you can see, I'm not doing a whole lot of scouting here. It's not really necessary as long as we have targets. And it might make sense just to take our time here. So, as you can see, Sergeant Anubis and his buddy are dead. They attacked in insufficient strength and were destroyed. And I think an arty shell lands here. There it is. That was awfully close. And, you know, I tell arty, traditionally, I just tell them don't bother. There you go. It's I don't really literally mean that, because I want them to waste shells on me. Okay, now if I remember right, Sergeant Anubis made a little comment here. I think it's coming up. There it is. Campers LOL from Sergeant Anubis. Well, Sergeant Anubis, I think you made a mistake in this battle, and you cannot... There, I'm bragging about directing the battle. Maybe that was a little over the top. But, you know, I think I was delighted that those guys made a little mistake there. They tried to do something that was unwise in the circumstances. Their scouts obviously did not perform at all. They could have helped over there. The ELC and the M5 Stuart, if they'd been handled properly, could have assisted them. Possibly, we don't know for sure. But once again, the fact that we assembled a superior force meant that there was no hope of them defeating us in this battle. And as you can see, it's just mopping up now. So essentially it's game over, and I hope you enjoyed the video.